What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another video, and this was a story that was breaking last week in regards to the upcoming movie Aang the Last Airbender. And we ended up having this come out from discussing Avatar, in which they're talking openly about how they are changing up the voice cast for Aang the Last Avatar, and they're not going to be the exact same voice actors from the original show. Now, I can actually justify that in a very interesting way, say, well, some people don't sound the same way anymore. Some people have grown up, they can't mimic the voice anymore, and we're trying to find people that sound exactly like how they used to, or in a manner that would make sense for their newfound age, like for crying out loud. Aang's supposed to be older within this movie. He would have a deeper, distinctive voice. He wouldn't sound like a little kid anymore. Things like that actually make sense. The problem is the actual justification as to why they are changing the voice actors. And I'll read this for you right here. Aang the Last Airbender casting director on why some of the original voice cast has been replaced for the upcoming film. Since the original show was released, there's been more emphasis in VO to match actors' ethnic/racial backgrounds to the characters they're portraying. Excuse me? What are you talking about here? Because yes, as much as people are inspired from these regions of the world where Toph is more Chinese, Zuko is more Japanese, Aang's more Tibetan. As much as they're inspired from those areas, they're not actually that group of people. They're different in entirely other ways because they come from a fake world. They just have inspirations from each of the real counterparts of this world that's filled with nothing but Asians. Let's go over the facts here. Aang is from the Air Nomad tribe. That's not Tibetan. That's not Tibet. They just have inspirations of their actual tribal garments, of how they do things from Tibetan monks. But you can see that they're completely different areas. They're completely different things. One's fake, one's real. Katara and Sokka are Inuits, are Eskimos, or whatever you want to call them. Yes, they take the inspiration of their garb and what they do there, but they're water tribe members. They're water tribe. They're not actually Eskimos. They just have inspiration from the ways they present themselves. Same when it comes to Toph not actually being Chinese. Same when it comes to Zuko not actually being Japanese. Earth Nation, Fire Nation. That's the difference here. So when you come out here and say, well, we're trying to have people exemplify and sound just like how they're supposed to sound and be connected to their actual ethnic backgrounds, that makes even less sense because we're not talking about live action. We're not talking about people needing to look the part. We're talking about people that are actually sounding the part, where everybody has a unique voice. People can change their voice. People are known to be able to do that. That's a skill of a voice actor. It doesn't matter what their ethnicity is or their racial backgrounds are. It matters, can you have the voice of the characters? That's the important part. And that's one of the key aspects when it comes to voice acting, is to be able to sound the part and not look it. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. It's your voice. And this has been a thing that we've been dealing with for a long time now. Heck, I can come over here to Velma, for example, where they decided to change every character within the actual Velma show to look like the actual people voicing said characters. For crying out loud, Velma in the show is really no different than Mindy Kaling. You can take a look at Shaggy being no different than Sam Richards. You can even look that they changed Daphne to be Asian because, well, the voice actress was Asian, Constance Wu. The only one they didn't change was Fred, but he was voiced by a white guy, Glenn Horton. You can see these issues. You can see what they're doing, and they've been pushing this for a long time. And this is all because of people like these right here. The damage to the voice acting caused by these two. Now, one of these guys is the current voice actor for Apu within Simpsons because, well, Apu is Hindi or Hindu or whatever, so you need a Hindi or Hindu guy to actually voice him. But the other guy here is actually Songwon. Now, Songwon is also a streamer and content creator, but he's also a voice actor. And Songwon fought for this. Both these guys fought for people to actually voice the way they look, for ethnic backgrounds to be mimic within these actual instances, where Songwon fought for this as well. Both of them did this. But the funniest thing about this, because of these rules that are being in place even on voice actors, is this was a story that was breaking a few years back where Song Won, or Pro ZD, or whatever the heck you want to call him, was actually unhappy that he wasn't receiving jobs anymore because of these standards that are being placed within the rules itself. Rules that he fought for, mind you. Rules that he wanted to have in place. Rules that are now coming back to bite him in the butt because he's no longer getting roles. He's no longer getting access to different roles because of the way he looks. Interesting how this starts coming to bite you in the butt. I mean, when it came to One Piece, you voiced Cat Viper, who's a giant cat man. I don't see you being a giant cat man, but you fought for this. You wanted this. This is the world you live in. And now he goes around complaining about the standards he himself has imposed on others. And you're seeing how this plays out. You're seeing how they're not going to care what you actually sound like. They care what you look like. In an instance in which they shouldn't really care. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, Latino, whatever. It only matters about how you sound. Literally where your prowess should be shining the best. But I also want to take a note of something else, where when it comes to voice acting, they want the people to represent the parts perfectly. They want the people to be, Asian and be Tibetan, maybe Eskimo or Inuit or whatever the heck they're called, Chinese and Japanese. But they're not willing to do the exact same situation when it comes to things like Bet over on Netflix, where they're more than happy to change up roles, change up presentations, change up people for all the right reasons and all the popular modern day BS and all the progressive ideologies. They're more than happy to institute a little girl here who's supposed to be, a little girl and change it to a non-binary Pakistani individual. Or we can even change the main character who's supposed to be Japanese to black. Or we can change another chick who's supposed to be Japanese and blonde to black and fat. You see the changes here? You see the issues here? You see what's going on here? The reality is they have no standards. It doesn't matter if it comes back and bites them in the ass. They don't care. This is all because of racism. This is all because of bullcrap. This is all because of the modern day injection of these hyper-progressive ideologies into these shows where it's okay to change it for live action and put in all the people they want because, well, more representation. But when it comes to voice acting, we still need representation in it, even though it shouldn't matter one little bit. If it was for the live action, it would make more sense. It would make sense to cast maybe somebody from Tibet to play Aang. It would make sense to have somebody that's in Eskimo descent to play Katara Osaka. It would make sense to hire a Chinese to play Toph. It would make sense to hire a Japanese to play Zuko. But it doesn't make sense when it comes to the voice acting. Voice acting is something completely different. It's another area altogether, but they don't care. Because their standards don't matter. It doesn't matter if it's now coming back to bite people that advocated for this in the ass. It doesn't matter if they don't care when it comes to live action. It's all because of control. It's all because of domination. And it's all because these are the standards they have implemented. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense. It matters that you adhere to it no matter what. Even if it means really good voice actors are going to be out of jobs because of these bullcrap standards. But hey, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get your guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it out, friends. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.